Being a Niners fan right now feels like we're standing at one of those quiet turning points. You know what I mean? That moment where the future kind of whispers before it shouts. This past week, two completely different situations popped up, but somehow they feel connected. And if you care about where this team is headed in the next couple of years, you should be paying attention. One story came out of Indianapolis, something that honestly caught a lot of people off guard. The other? It's happening behind the scenes, and it could quietly change the identity of part of this roster moving forward. One is about a potential new beginning. The other might be about an ending. And when you put them side by side, it really makes you think about what direction this front office is preparing to take. I had a real reaction when I saw both of these updates. Not just as someone who follows the team, but as a fan who's lived every high and low of the last few seasons. Because this isn't random. This feels intentional. Before we dive into it, do me a quick favor. If you're a real one, if you truly believe the Niners are getting back to the Super Bowl next year, hit that like button and subscribe to 49ers Nation Report. The channel's still new, and I only want the faithful in here, the ones who bleed red and gold. So this first story comes straight out of the Combine in Indianapolis. The whole league was there evaluating the top prospects for the 2026 NFL Draft. Scouts have been watching tape for months, sure, but the Combine? That's where narratives start shifting. That's where stock rises. That's where teams really start picturing guys in their uniforms. And one of the biggest surprises of the entire event? Bryce Lance. Yeah, that Bryce Lance, the younger brother of Trey Lance, a wide receiver out of North Dakota State who absolutely balled out during drills. And I'm not exaggerating, he was one of the standout performers of the entire Combine. Smooth routes, physical presence, natural hands. The kind of performance that makes executives stop mid-conversation and look down at their notes again. Now here's where it gets interesting. After the dust settled, team insider David Lombardi from the San Francisco Standard went on X and said something that made every Niners fan pause. He reminded people that years ago, John Lynch talked about wanting to draft Trey Lance's brother. And then he flat out said the 49ers will, and should, absolutely look into it now. That's not random chatter. That's someone plugged into the building saying, hey, this is real. And we all remember how the Trey Lance era went. Back in the 2021 draft, the 49ers traded up to take him number 3 overall. That was supposed to be the future. That was supposed to be the next decade. But injuries hit early. Development stalled. Brock Purdy stepped in and took the job. And eventually, Trey was shipped to the Dallas Cowboys. He spent the 2025 season as a backup with the Los Angeles Chargers. It didn't work out here. That's just the truth. But this isn't Trey's story. This is Bryce's. Over the last 2 seasons at North Dakota State, Bryce Lance has been a straight-up producer. In 2025 alone, he had 51 receptions for 1,079 yards and 9 total touchdowns. The year before that, 18 total touchdowns. 18. Those are serious numbers. Now, and we gotta be fair here, he wasn't playing top-tier Power 5 competition every week. That's the biggest knock evaluators have. Level of competition. Some scouts are skeptical about how that production translates to the NFL. But the Combine? That's where you erase doubts. And he showed up. He's a physical outside receiver. He can win at all 3 levels: short, intermediate, deep. He's got size. He's a legit red zone threat. And if we're being honest as Niners fans, we could absolutely use another reliable big body in the red zone. That's been a real thing for us at times. Now here's the wild part. His draft projection is all over the place. Some evaluators see him as a late day 2 pick. Others think he might slide to the 5th round. That's a massive gap. But a strong combine usually pushes you up, not down. And if his stock keeps rising, the 49ers are going to have to make a real decision. Do you bring in the brother of a former number 3 overall pick, knowing how that first chapter ended? Or do you separate the last name from the evaluation and just look at the player? Because here's my honest take. If he fits the system, if he helps Brock Purdy, if he adds something we're missing in the passing game, I don't care what his last name is. This isn't about rewriting history. It's about building the best roster possible for 2026 and beyond. And the fact that David Lombardi publicly connected the dots? That tells me the front office is at least thinking about it. But here's the thing. While we're talking about potentially adding a new weapon to this roster, there's another move brewing on the other side of the ball that could quietly signal a bigger shift in philosophy. And this one might sting a little more than people expect. Let's talk about what's happening on the defensive line. Now let's flip to the other side of the ball because this one feels different. While everyone's excited about potential new additions, there's a real possibility the Niners are preparing to move on from someone who just played a major role for us last season. According to NFL insider Jordan Schultz, the 49ers are not planning to tender defensive lineman Kalia Davis, and that's significant. Davis was set to become a restricted free agent when the new league year opens. The team could have given him a right of first refusal tender worth $3.52 million. That would have been about 3 times more than his $1.13 million cap hit in 2025. Instead, it looks like they're ready to let him walk. And this isn't some end-of-the-bench rotational guy we're talking about. Kalia Davis started all 17 games last season. All 17. He played a career-high 45% of the defensive snaps. That's not nothing. That's a legit role in this defense. Let's not forget, he was a 6th-round pick in the 2022 draft, number 220 overall out of UCF. At UCF, he played in 29 games, had 61 tackles, 4 sacks, 2 passes defensed, a forced fumble, and a fumble recovery. He wasn't some hyped prospect. He earned his way. In the NFL, he's appeared in 33 games, 41 tackles, 4 passes defensed, 3 quarterback hits, 1.5 sacks, and even an interception. For a defensive lineman, that's solid production. And yet, here we are. On top of that, Jordan Elliott and Kevin Givens are also set to hit the open market. So this isn't just about one guy. This feels like a potential overhaul of the defensive interior. And as a fan, that raises questions. Are we getting younger? Are we clearing cap space? Are we targeting a big addition in the draft? Or is this about resetting the rotation and giving snaps to younger guys already in the building? Because when you let a 27-year-old starter walk instead of paying him $3.52 million, that tells me the front office sees this room differently than we might. Maybe they believe they can get similar production cheaper. Maybe they want more upside. Maybe they're planning to attack the position in the 2026 draft. But it's still a risk. Continuity on the defensive line matters. We've seen what happens when that unit dominates. It changes games. It makes life easier for the secondary. It keeps us in control. So if they're truly ready to move on from Kalia Davis and potentially reshuffle that room, this isn't just a minor roster tweak. It's a philosophical shift. And that's why these two stories together feel bigger than they look on the surface. On one side, you have the possibility of adding a new offensive weapon. Someone with upside, size, red zone presence, and a storyline that would absolutely capture attention. On the other side, you might be watching the quiet dismantling of part of your defensive front. One move is about potential growth. The other is about calculated change. And when you zoom out, it feels like the front office is positioning itself for something. Not panic, not desperation, but transition. So, what do these two situations actually tell us about where this team stands right now? Let's bring it all together. When you look at the Bryce Lance situation and the Kalia Davis decision side by side, what you're really seeing is a team that's not standing still. The Niners aren't clinging to old investments. They're not overpaying for comfort, and they're not ignoring upside when it presents itself. This feels decisive. And honestly, I'd rather have a decisive front office than a reactive one. We've got a quarterback in Brock Purdy who needs weapons to maximize this window. If Bryce Lance turns out to be that physical outside threat we've been missing in certain situations, I'm all for it. At the same time, if the defensive line is getting reshaped, it better be because there's a bigger plan in place. Because championships are won in the trenches. Period. Right now, I'd call this moment cautiously optimistic. It's not flashy, it's not dramatic, but it feels like groundwork. Like the kind of subtle moves that define what the next 2 years are going to look like. And as a fan, I'm locked in, watching every decision, every draft visit, every contract move, because this roster is closer than people think. All right, if you made it this far, you're one of the real ones. Go ahead and drop a comment. Do you want Bryce Lance in red and gold? And are you comfortable moving on from Kalia Davis? Hit that like button if you believe this team is building something special. And subscribe to 49ers Nation Report. The channel's still new, and I only want the faithful in here. The ones who truly believe we're getting back to the Super Bowl next year. Red and gold forever.